Michael, between the two of us, you're the betting man. But
Oh, yes.
before the season, I would not have bet your money that the Miami Dolphins would be the last undefeated team in the AFC. Even with all the moves they made this offseason, which we loved, although if memory serves, you didn't exactly love the Mike McDaniel hire at the time. But even with all the moves that they made, but especially given their opening schedule, say what you want about the Patriots, they made the playoffs last year. So beating 3 playoff teams, the Super Bowl favorite in week 3 that had just beaten the brakes off of 2 playoff teams from last year, including the defending Super Bowl champion, you couldn't have told me that Mike McDaniel will be 3-0 while Josh McDaniels is 0-3. I mean, this
Right.
might be the best story in the sport through 3 weeks.
Yeah, it really is. It's a great story. And, Mike, it makes me wonder, because I know, rest in peace, Don Shula. I know for many years, the 72 Dolphins, I won't call them bitter, maybe a little petty, but the 72 Dolphins, for years, would have a little get-together, and they'd raise a glass every time the last undefeated team would lose.
Right.
Will the 72 Dolphins, those who are remaining, will they raise a glass and celebrate when the Dolphins lose their first game?
It's a good question.
Would that happen? That's family business.
Right.
This is family, right?
Are they going to be on the sideline, as the season goes on, the way the what year was it? The way the '85 Dolphins were on the sideline.
Oh yeah.
When the Dolphins beat the Bears.
Beat them down.
Yeah.
Beat them down. Only lost that year. They were a great team. So look, I gotta give it to him. Mike, you're right. I didn't like the hire of Mike McDaniel, and it wasn't necessarily. It's kind of personal, Mike McDaniel. When people say it's not personal, it's kind of personal. I mean, it's kind of, a little bit, but it wasn't really about. It was about 10% or 15% Mike McDaniel. It was 85% of what they did to my man Brian Flores.
Yeah.
I felt like, oh man, come on. He's got 2 out of 3 years. Got a winning record. Yeah.
If you felt that way, does it stand to reason that there were people in the organization, people in the locker room, that felt that way, that felt that Mike McDaniel had something to prove to them? An unproven coach, hadn't even called plays in San Francisco. An unproven coach that had to come in and replace Brian Flores, who finished last season strong. Look, there are some people who didn't enjoy working with Brian Flores. I'm strictly talking about the players.
I was going to say that.
I'm talking about the players. And I'm sure there are some players who didn't enjoy playing for Brian Flores. Some of them, but nonetheless, you and I both know professional football players don't have to love you to play for you and to respond to you and to win with you if you put them in position to succeed. So all I'm saying is, if you felt like they did Brian Flores dirty, I'm sure there were at least some people in that locker room that were like, all right, well, we won 7 of our last, or 8 of our, was it 8 of 9 to finish last season? If I'm not mistaken, was it 8 of 9?
That's right, 8 of 9.
We won 8 of our last 9 to finish last season, and now we're going to turn this thing over again to this guy, Mike McDaniel, who doesn't fit the description of your typical head coach. Let's see what this guy's got. At least some skepticism, some curiosity about whether he could get this team to respond to him. And lo and behold, they've now won 11 of their last 12 going back to last November, because this team is 3-0. The 3-0 Miami Dolphins.
Hey,
Tua Tagovailoa's Miami Dolphins. Last week, remember, I was like,
it's funny that you mentioned
such a great moment for Tua and his supporters. The entire fan base deserves this. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
It's funny that you mentioned Tua, because we had Omar Kelly, formerly of the South Florida Sun Sentinel, on Friday. And now Omar is a producer and host with the I Am Athlete podcast with Brandon Marshall. That's his new gig. But he was telling, but he's really plugged in with the Dolphins. He said Tua had a head coach who hated him and Brian Flores. I said, well, hate? I said, hate? No, hated him. Okay, didn't really, just didn't believe in him, resented, just all this stuff. Well, even when he put him in over Fitzpatrick.
Flores was the Deshaun Watson pursuer.
Flores was anybody but Tua. He was a never Tua head coach.
Well, but hold on now. But listen, that organization, including its owner, who is currently indisposed, having been suspended for tampering. Nobody in that organization can say with a straight face that they always believed in Tua, including the owner who wanted to tank for Joe Burrow, okay, and who wanted Tom Brady so much so that he tampered beyond anybody in any recorded incident in NFL history.
Just dumb tampering.
His suspension and fine. Right, exactly.
It was just dumb tampering.
Okay, and now here they are 3-0 with Tua Tagovailoa, and I know quarterbacks, wins and losses are a team record, and not to be put on quarterbacks, but nonetheless, in the last 2 weeks, Tua's come out on the winning end with Lamar Jackson and now Josh Allen on the other sideline.
And, I got to give it to him. And this is why I'd say the Dolphins are different. See, I expected the Dolphins, after they went down to Baltimore by 21 points in the fourth quarter, I said, okay, here we go. This is what I expect to see. They came back in that game, a great comeback for the Dolphins, and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle go off. All right, that's a little different. Okay, here they come. They got to come back to earth now, taking on the Buffalo Bills. I don't care how many injuries Buffalo has. Buffalo has owned Miami, and more specifically, Tua's had some terrible games against Buffalo. Yeah. Some of his worst games.
They've owned Miami, and Bills Mafia took over South Beach. Saw them videos. Yeah. Oh, look at all the Bills fans.
It's all like, here we go. Now it comes back. And they beat that. They scaled that hurdle too.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to say that they are legit. They are legit contenders. They are legit contenders in the AFC. Are they?
Yeah.
Are they Super Bowl? Are they Super Bowl favorites? No. Buffalo lost the game. They lost the game. That's all. That's not enough to say, oh, Buffalo suddenly have. And what's the formula on the four-letter network? You tell me, what's the question today on, as Bill Belichick would say, no, it was Randy Moss. Randy Moss would say, on the talk shows and game shows, what's the question? You got it.
Are the Dolphins contenders?
There are two of them. That's one. The other one.
More about the Dolphins or the Bills? Did the Dolphins win it or did the Bills lose it? Did the Dolphins win it or did the Bills lose it? That one?
And then,
we know Ken Dorsey lost it. Oh, there's another one? Okay,
did the Dolphins show the NFL?
What?
Did the Dolphins show the NFL the blueprint for beating the Buffalo Bills? All that corny stuff. No. There's no blueprint for beating the Buffalo Bills. They played well. Dolphins played well yesterday.
100 and some degree temperatures helps. That's for sure.
Hey, maybe they should have done like the Patriots.
It's hard to win in
September. They should have followed the Patriots' advice. Go down early. Yeah. Just give me an excuse to leave Western New York in September, even in September, Western New York. Give me an excuse to go to Miami in late September for an extra few days. I don't know. I'm not going to blame the weather. I'm not going to blame injuries. I'm going to say this.
Miami Dolphins, I'm not taking anything away from them.
They finally brought it together because, like a lot of teams that aren't playoff teams, they have an abundance of one thing, not an abundance of the other. So they were a really good defense last year. They finished strong, but the offense was a question. Back in the day, they had a great offense, no defense. Now, it looks like they've been able to put both of these things together, and they're definitely a playoff team. That's no question. They're a playoff team.
Definitely? Okay. Well,
definitely
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about it in general, Michael, just trying to be more in the moment in my life. And not
this is deep.
And not always
this is deep.
And not always worried about the future, not always worried about the past, but just enjoying the moment.
Like it.
And listen, I'm still upset at myself for what I said about the Cowboys, who we'll see again tonight on Monday Night Football. What I said about the Cowboys after the opener and wrote off their season. I won't eat any more words. I won't eat any more paper. But I'm still upset about myself for being so overreactionary after week one, only for the Cowboys to come back and beat the Bengals behind Cooper Rush. We'll see what they do against the Giants. But I also remember last year. Now, granted, these wins were against the Giants, Jaguars, and Jets. Okay, these wins were against the Giants, Jaguars, and Jets. But nonetheless, you know who else started 3-0 last year? And I was all excited about them? The Denver Broncos. Now, now, just to be clear, I'm not saying that these Miami Dolphins are akin to last year's Denver Broncos. What I am saying, stop the presses, is that it is a very long season. Because a week ago, Buffalo looked unbeatable. Now, Buffalo is playing rookies and second-year players drafted in the 6th round, no disrespect, in their secondary right now. They're depleted in the back end, and Buffalo had such a meltdown in Miami that Ken Dorsey, destroyed headsets and tablets. I could watch that video all day.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.